The lie didn't collapse because of money. It collapsed because of desire. Because in Dubai, while the world was distracted by raids, arrests, and whispered financial crimes, something far more dangerous was happening behind closed doors. Something personal, humiliating, and irreversible. A woman who never speaks publicly. A woman who doesn't need money. A woman who already won her divorce with 9 figures. And last night, she broke her silence. Her message detonated like a controlled explosion inside elite WhatsApp groups, private Instagram circles, and eventually the global press. Meghan Markle didn't come to Dubai for business. She came to steal my husband, and I have the video. That woman is known in Dubai simply as Soraya, not an influencer, not a hanger-on, a power broker. The ex-wife of one of the region's most powerful multi-billionaires. And she didn't just accuse, she came armed with receipts. Her post wasn't public, it was private. Visible only to the inner sanctum of Dubai's elite wives circle, a group that decides who rises and who disappears socially. Within minutes it was leaked. The message was cold, surgical, almost amused. She described an American duchess touching her husband under the table while her prince sat nearby. She described whispers, lingering looks, calculated body language. And then the warning, in my house, the walls have eyes. I see you, Meghan, and soon the world will too. Until that moment, everyone thought the Dubai trip was about money, alleged laundering, desperate fundraising, brand survival. Soraya changed the entire narrative. She wasn't accusing Meghan of chasing investors. She was accusing her of monkey branching, of hunting for an upgrade. The theory exploded instantly, with the Sussex brand collapsing, deals drying up, and Harry's wallet no longer able to fund private jets, full-time security, and billionaire fantasy living. Meghan allegedly went to Dubai not for Arkawell, but for a replacement provider, a man with jets, global influence, and silence money. And Soraya claims it all went down at one dinner, an ultra-exclusive private estate on Palm Jumeirah. No press, no phones, no cameras allowed, except there were cameras. 5 couples only. Meghan and Harry seated as guests of honor. The host, Soraya's former husband, real estate, energy, old money, untouchable. According to Soraya, Meghan spent the entire evening locked onto one target, ignoring Harry, positioning her body away from her husband, using every flirtation trick in the book, doe-eyed stares, whispered lines, intimate jokes meant for 2 people, not a table. Harry, meanwhile, sat at the opposite end, making polite conversation, unaware that his wife was quietly auditioning for his replacement just feet away. But here's where it went wrong. The billionaire wasn't flattered. He was alarmed. In Dubai, hospitality is sacred, but so are boundaries. And according to Soraya, midway through the dinner, the host subtly signaled security. He felt hunted, not charmed, not impressed, targeted. And that's when the cameras became deadly. Soraya claims she has the dining room footage, high definition, ceiling mounted, with audio. She says Meghan wasn't pitching a foundation, she was pitching herself, offering image rehabilitation in the West, hinting at a power couple, suggesting a future that didn't include the man she arrived with, all while Harry sat 10 feet away. The timing of this exposure is no accident. Soraya didn't strike when Meghan was strong. She waited until she was vulnerable. And this wasn't just revenge. It was a warning. Because Dubai's wives don't play defense quietly. WhatsApp groups erupted. Private calls flew. Doors slammed shut. In this world, if the wives blacklist you, you don't get galas, charities, donors, or introductions. You vanish. And right now, Meghan Markle is being framed not as a feminist icon, but as a threat. A woman who uses status to gain access, and access to destabilize homes. And the most devastating part? Harry. Because if even half of this is true, it confirms every warning he was ever given. That he wasn't the endgame, he was the entry point. A stepping stone to a title meant to be traded in later for a billionaire lifestyle. And Soraya didn't stop with hints. She issued a deadline. If Meghan's legal team denies the dinner, if they try to silence her, she drops the video. Her follow-up message was ruthless. I don't need the money. I need the truth known. Test me. And according to those who have already seen the footage, the body language is undeniable. Predatory, calculated, impossible to spin. A discreet ceiling camera captured the dinner in crystal clear detail. Meghan seated to the right of the billionaire. Harry across the table, distracted. 12 minutes in, the first red flag appears. Meghan removes her shoe. She shifts her body entirely away from her husband. And under the glass table, a fatal mistake, her foot reaches out. Not a bump, a caress. Sliding along the host's calf, the billionaire recoils. He pulls back. looks down, looks at her, confused, disturbed. She doesn't stop. She smiles, leans in, whispers something that makes him stiffen. Lip readers analyzing leaked low-resolution copies claim she said, "You have such powerful hands. I bet you could handle anything." A loaded line, and a quiet dig at Harry. Throughout the meal, she ignores her plate, touches the host's arm repeatedly, laughs too loudly. At one point, eats fruit from his plate, a territorial gesture that screams ownership. In conservative Dubai culture, it's not flirtation. It's violation. And somewhere across that table, Harry begins to sense it. His conversation fades. He looks over, sees her hand on another man's forearm, sees her gaze, the intensity. For a split second, his face drops. The look of a man realizing he is the third wheel in his own marriage. He tries to get her attention. Meg. She doesn't even turn. She waves him off, dismissive, and continues talking to the money. That moment, according to sources, is where everything broke. And this was only the beginning. What happened next didn't unfold at the dinner table, it unfolded in the corridors. Because once a predator realizes the group setting isn't working, the hunt gets private. The cameras caught it all. 90 minutes into the evening, the dinner dissolves into polite mingling beneath vaulted ceilings and marble floors. Laughter echoes. Wine glasses clink. The billionaire host excuses himself and walks toward the corridor leading to the powder room. That's when the footage shows something chilling. Meghan doesn't mingle, she waits. Not by the bar, not with the guests. She positions herself in the hallway like a checkpoint. As the host exits the restroom, she steps directly into his path, pinning him between her body and a marble pillar. This isn't casual conversation. This is interception. Her hand goes flat against his chest, a cultural taboo, a line crossed. The enhanced audio allegedly captures her voice dropping, not flirtatious now, but transactional. "Harry is done," she whispers. "He's broke. He's boring. You need a face for your global brand. I need a man who understands power." She sells it like a merger. "We could own this city." This is the moment that defines everything. The billionaire doesn't smile. He doesn't flirt back. He doesn't hesitate. He removes her hand, steps back, and says clearly enough for the microphone to catch, "Madam, you are drunk and you are married. Please return to your husband before I have you escorted out." And then he walks away, leaving her standing alone, rejected. But the most disturbing detail? Her face doesn't crumple into embarrassment. It hardens. She smooths her dress, checks her reflection, and walks back into the party as if nothing happened. That isn't heartbreak. That's compartmentalization. She missed the branch and assumed no one saw her fall. But Soraya saw it, and so did someone else. Harry. About an hour earlier, something had already shifted in him, but this corridor moment seals it. According to intelligence sources, Harry sends a message that night, 11:42 p.m., from his encrypted device. Not to a friend, not to a therapist, to his brother, Prince William. The text is short, fractured, panicked. "I think I've made a terrible mistake. She's out of control. I don't know who she is anymore. Please tell P I'm sorry. I need a way out." That message isn't gossip, it's an SOS. And when it reaches the palace, protocol kicks in. No reply text, no emotional reassurance. Instead, the machinery starts moving. Extraction protocol. But before Harry even knows what's coming, Meghan allegedly makes one final move. The next morning, 8 a.m., a courier arrives at the billionaire's estate. Velvet box. Sealed envelope marked personal. Security intercepts it. Inside, a vintage Patek Philippe watch valued at roughly $50,000. But that's not the crime. The receipt reveals the payment method. A joint card, issued to Prince Harry. She used her husband's money to send a seduction gift to the man who rejected her. And the note? Written on RQL stationery. "Time is the only luxury we can't buy. Don't waste yours on the past. The offer still stands. Let's build an empire." Signed with a single letter, M. That's when the billionaire stops being polite. In Dubai, unwanted advances don't get ignored. They get prosecuted. Lawyers are called. A formal complaint is filed with Dubai Public Prosecution, seeking a criminal restraining order citing harassment and continued contact after rejection. This isn't about money. It's about reputation. Imagine the headline forming in real time: Duchess of Sussex slapped with restraining order by Dubai tycoon. A feminist brand collapses when consent is ignored. And Harry? That morning, his phone pings. Fraud alert. $50,000. Dubai Watch Company. He likely assumes she bought herself something. He doesn't yet realize he paid for his own humiliation. Then, the video drops. Soraya presses upload. The file name is brutal in its simplicity, the dinner, unedited. Within minutes, it's everywhere. 2 hours of systematic pursuit. The voice change, the physical turning away from Harry, the whispered promises of fame and power. One moment detonates social media. Meghan leaning over and saying, "I can make you famous in America. I'm the most talked about woman in the world. Not love, not charity, power." And when the lawyers tell her the footage is real, metadata intact, original files secured, panic sets in. She screams deep fake, orders lawsuits, threatens the internet. But the defense is dead on arrival. Harry doesn't need anyone to explain it to him. He locks himself in the bathroom with an iPad and watches everything. When he emerges, he doesn't argue. He picks up the secure phone and says 3 words: "Send the plane." By the time Meghan realizes what's happening, it's too late. Harry packs one bag, passport, phone, no suits, no symbols. Down in the lobby, diplomatic vehicles wait. Not hotel cars, consulate plates, royal protection officers. The elevator doors open. Harry steps out, focused, silent, then the scream. Meghan runs across the marble floor in a bathrobe and slippers. "Harry, you can't leave. We have a plan." She reaches for him. She doesn't touch him. A protection officer steps forward. "Step back, Miss Markle." "Not Duchess. Miss." Harry doesn't turn around. The door closes. The convoy moves. It doesn't head to the terminal. It heads to the airbase. 2 hours later, the plane lifts off. The card on the hotel suite is canceled. The restraining order is pending. The video hits 50 million views. And Soraya posts one final image: a chessboard. The queen knocking over a pawn. Caption: checkmate. Don't play games you can't win. Dubai was supposed to be her upgrade. Instead, it was the trap door. Harry is gone. The lights are out. And the truth finally didn't blink. Finally